Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, lawsuits, lawsuits, lawsuits. You are persistent, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society is persistent with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I'm joined, as I am always joined, by my co-host, Conner McCabe, host of the Call Me By Your Game podcast. We've got a good show for you today. We are going to be talking about the news from the week, including new cast members for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And then on Thursday, Mark and I are determining the 10 best applications of Mii's. But in the meantime, Conner, how's it going?
Patrick, it's going great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for talking news. I feel like there's a lot of like little Nintendo things
There is
happening right now.
It's a smattering, a buffet, a collection of little treats,
a
for
smorgasbord.
Us. Yes, no one. I would say maybe I'm going to disagree with myself immediately.
I love it.
It doesn't feel like there's one main here. It feels like there's a lot of great sides.
A lot of great sides, which is kind of, just like to look at the early part of Nintendo's year here in terms of like announcements. Same, right? It's a lot of side things. It's a lot of partner showcase energy happening right now.
Big time.
And no Nintendo Direct energy.
No, maybe someday, but not this day.
No, it'll be like June.
Yeah.
Like that's when it'll happen. But Conner, thank you again for being here to run through the news with me today. I guess before we dig into all the normal business of the show, just of course want to shout out the Patreon, patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society, where if you're supporting us at the 8 or 16-bit levels, you get access to our once-a-month episode of miniseries like NCS at the Movies, where we just saw Scream 7 with Kelly Nugent and had a great conversation about it, and that we're going to be talking about Project Hail Mary later this month.
I'm excited.
And if you go there and support us at any level, including the free level, there is something for you to check out there. So check that out. Conner,
Patrick,
do you want to just shout out your podcast a little bit here?
I would love to do that. Can I do one thing before I do that?
Absolutely.
I want to as an oft listener and a supporter of the Patreon, let me make a case for the listeners out there on why they should consider supporting the Nintendo Cartridge Society Patreon if they're not already. Of course, you can get in on the free level and get some bonuses that trickle down from times past and years past. That is going to grow the ecosystem. It's great. But I will
currently,
say,
NCS Detective Club is available for free. Yes.
Oh, and that right there, that's a series.
That's a series.
I'll say, as a fan of the show, a supporter of the Patreon, here's what I get out of it. For, throwing a few bucks a month at some creators I really like and some guys who I think make a really great show that I like listening
Conner,
to.
you're too sweet.
Hey, I'm just telling the truth.
You're
here.
on the show right now.
I know. A show that brings me a lot of joy 2 days a week, at least, is very fun because, especially as a big fan of movies and a big movie goer, I don't see every movie that you all cover on NCS at the Movies, but I do see most of them, so it's so exciting to go see a movie and then listen to you two and another friend talk about it. It's like I'm in the room with buds talking about the movie. I just, of course the bonuses are great if that's what you're into it for, but also if you're someone who is overwhelmed by the amount of podcasts you have and you just want to support your these guys, consider it. Consider it.
It's a compelling case, Conner, and I appreciate you making it.
And Patrick, if that's too much, just cut it from the podcast.
No, it's staying in. Cut it from the podcast. Conner, I appreciate that, and we will absolutely have Conner on at some point this year for NCS at the Movies.
There's gonna be an excuse.
There's gonna be. It's just gonna happen. I'm not sure when, but it will.
Great.
We talked Project Hail Mary, but I think you're going to be out of town.
Yes, I'm leaving too early to do it.
So we will, get you on. Hey, movies come out in April as well.
They sure do.
Including one movie that we're going to talk about a little bit later on in this episode. Sorry, but you did a very graceful thing and just shouted out our Patreon after I did that. But Call Me by Your Game.
Yes, it's a podcast that I host. If you're an oft listener of the show, you hear me a few times a year on this podcast. Get to pitch mine. It's called Call Me by Your Game. I invite a guest on. I interview them about a meaningful video game from a particularly memorable moment in their life, and it's very fun. I'm also doing it's a show that you can listen to for free wherever you get your podcasts. And this year, for the Nintendo heads out there, you maybe have seen me post about this in the Discord.
We got a couple Nintendo heads listening to this show.
At least a few. I am hosting a mini-series, a limited series, on my podcast once a month called the N64 Diaries, where I have a guest on to hear about what the N64 means to them. And I'm doing that because later this year, it's going to be the 30th anniversary of my personal favorite console, the Nintendo 64.
And so fun to hear these sort of like context in people's lives, especially just like, a lot of our sort of peer group in this like comedy video game podcast arena. Like the system hit us all at like different formative ages. And so it's very cool to hear those kinds of stories. You've done it now with yourself.
Yes.
Which is a very good episode.
Thank you.
Then again with Eddie Martin, who you've had on the show before. And I'm looking forward to hearing more of these things, Connor, because it's the Nintendo 64 is such a sea change in games and for Nintendo, that it's like how does that feel to you, is such a, to me at this point, so much more interesting question than what did it do for games. And just like how do you feel about that inflection point in the hobby that we've invested so much time and money into at this point.
Absolutely. And I the fun I get out of it, even though the first episode was me talking to myself, is hearing about what it means to other people, which honestly goes back to the main crux of my podcast in general. So I'm going to have Patrick on at some point this year for that series. Stay tuned. Come listen to the podcast.
Yeah, check out Call Me by Your Game. And then, of course, if you want to be chatting with either of us, we're both in the Discord. You can email us at Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com, and we will send you an invitation. You hop in the Discord, you chat with us. People are there when there's a Nintendo Direct. They're also there when there's not. And you can just chat with people who are interested in this show and in Nintendo. It's a great group of people. Connor, let's get into what we've been playing this week. And we is very appropriate here because I feel like you and I are playing a lot of the same things right now.
We really are. For a second, I was like, did I write something down about the Nintendo Wii?
No, I meant literally we.
Yes, the two of us. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, fun coincidence for us.
But not together. We've not. So obviously, we both not. Why do I say obviously? We have both been playing Resident Evil Requiem. I actually have not put in a large amount of time since the episode that we recorded last week.
Yes.
And partially that's because Pokemon Pokopia came out, and I'm eager to talk a little bit about that. But Connor, I want to hear just a little bit about your journey getting Resident Evil Requiem started.
Yes.
How you're playing it, what your first couple hours with it have been like.
Thank you. I would love to share. I am playing this game on the PlayStation 5. As you know, it was kind of difficult to find a physical copy.
Yes.
The day the game came out, I didn't pre-order it, so I figured I could walk into my local big box store and pick one up. And there wasn't one within like a 20-mile radius of Los Angeles that I could find.
Outrageous.
So
we were at Best Buy when it opened.
We were.
And they were like, no, we don't. If you did not pre-order, we don't have this.
Yes. So I got to it a week late, got my copy, arrived late last week, and again, playing on the PlayStation 5. I'm a somewhat recent Resident Evil convert.
Yes.
For, you and I are currently doing, which we'll talk about, the Fire Emblem Awakening Games Club with my network, Super NPC Radio. In the past, we've also covered 2 Resident Evil games.
Two remake and 4 remake.
Exactly. 4 remake we did together. So those are my first 2 Resident Evil titles that I saw all the way through. In honor of... Yes.
So you are very much a Leon boy. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I love Leon. Obviously, he was featured in our ranking the
Yes.
Resident Evil protagonist. I'm not going to say where he landed, but he's in there.
Listen to find out.
Yeah, listen to find out. Charlie Mahalik, good episode. Um, uh, but for me, Leon is one of the branches of the Resident Evil path. It sounds
Yes.
like he's the whole tree for you.
He is nearly the whole tree because he's the most fulfilled tree with fruit growing on it and
I love
beautiful
this
leaves.
metaphor. It's so good.
So I'm a huge fan of him because 2 Remake is my personal favorite of the ones I've played. I also loved 4 Remake a hair less than 2. I have also started years ago, before any of these, I started Resident Evil 7. And so I've played a little bit as Ethan, but I don't remember my experience very well. It was several hours, not much. But for Resident Evil month, when you were covering this on your show,
Yes.
I purchased Resident Evil 1 Remake for the Switch, and I played it for about 8 hours.
Dude.
I believe I got quite far, did not finish the game.
Were
But
you doing a Jill or a Chris?
Jill
Okay.
to start,
Mhm.
absolutely fell in love with that game.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
a beaut.
I mean,
And feels like a classic car, right?
absolutely
Where you're just like, you're rubbing your hands on it and you're like, this thing works.
and I'm like, I didn't
Solid steel.
Yes, I didn't ride on this car when I was growing up, but
No.
I can appreciate it for its make, its model, and how it runs
Yes.
today.
Yes.
So I can't say enough.
The
good
metaphors
things.
are so good tonight.
And folks, if you think that's the end of them, that's just the tip of the
That's
iceberg.
too much pressure, I think.
But I love 1, and I'm absolutely adoring 5. I was telling you that I'm at the point where
Requiem.
Requiem.
Yeah.
Gosh, 5. Yeah, I adore the one that a lot of people hate. I'm loving Resident Evil
6
Requiem.
is sort of the consensus everyone hates.
Oh, is 6 the one?
Yeah, 5 has some like kind of icky racial undertones to
Okay.
it, or overtones. Who knows?
Yes.
But 6 is the one where it like totally falls apart.
I am thinking of 5.
Yeah.
Yes, but Requiem is the one that I'm currently loving.
Correct.
I am playing the Claire. Gosh,
Grace.
Grace. Gosh, I almost said Claire. Jill. I'm remembering all my children's names.
Right.
Uh,
My mother used to do this when she would yell down to the basement to get my or my brother's attention.
Yes.
And usually the dog's name came out first.
Let's hope that dog's loved.
She was.
Okay.
She's dead now.
Oh. Well, like me twice in this game, R.I.P. Because I am loving Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah.
I was telling you before we started recording that I believe, almost finished with the first quite large section playing as Grace. I'm playing in first-person mode as her, third-person mode when I am the aforementioned Leon S. Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. Which is what
And-
the game suggests.
Say it again.
Which is what the game suggests.
Yes, that's what they. And I've toggled back and forth.
Oh,
but
I've not done any experimenting there. I'm just
Oh.
like, I'm following
I'll
the
like-
rules.
I
I'm a
mean,
good
I'll-
little boy.
I'll see what the setting. I'll go to the illegal website, but I'm not downloading anything.
Sure.
And I'm truly adoring this type of gameplay. It makes me want to revisit 7, play 8, but I have an appetite to get back to a little Leon, which, as we know,
Right.
and we've experienced a little bit, and we know from hearsay is that it's a lot more action focused.
Mhm.
I want that other flavor, that palate cleanser.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I would say that by the end of that first larger Grace section, you just get the feeling that like you have trod through the various places of this medical building,
Mhm.
and you're like, okay, there aren't too many more spaces for me to explore, and the spaces that I have been running through are now littered with corpses of zombies that will be reanimated and destroy me.
Yes.
So yes, I'm also very much ready to move on from that
Mhm.
beat in the game, just sort of because I feel like I'm done with the area.
Yes.
But also because like, yeah, I want to get Leon out here. I want to, roundhouse kick a zombie and block a chainsaw with a knife and like all that cool stuff.
The good stuff.
The good stuff. It's all
Yes.
good stuff though, I think.
Yes.
O'Connor, I'm so happy that you're enjoying it. And I look forward to having more conversations with you about it. We're in basically the same place right
Yes.
now, I believe. But so yeah, if you've got like a little text thread going of people who haven't already beaten the game, as a couple of our friends have already,
Yes.
like just add me to that bad boy. I'd like to.
You got it.
I'd like to continue the conversation. We will touch on Fire Emblem Awakening in a second, just because I want to talk about why I have not gone back really to Resident Evil Requiem in any meaningful way, and it is because Pokemon Pokopia came out on Thursday last week. A game that I have been saying since it was originally revealed in September is going to be, I knew it was going to be a banger.
Doesn't it feel good to call your shot?
It feels so good, Connor.
It feels so good.
Because, like, I felt like I was on an island where I was like, this is basically a Dragon Quest Builders game, but with Pokemon. And everyone was like, I don't know what that is. I don't care. But it got killer reviews. And now that it's like out in the wild, and you see what people are doing with it, they're sharing stuff that, like, have you noticed this on like your social networks that people are sharing their creations and like asking questions of each other online? And it just feels like, obviously not to the same degree, but like the Animal Crossing New Horizons moment of people just discovering this thing that is so chill and so beautiful, but is like so much more active than an Animal Crossing. Like, you have so many more objectives, and the objectives are all character based, because like the Pokemon all need different habitats, and they all have like different favors that they ask of you. And then you also need to like rebuild the Pokemon Center, and Professor Tangrowth is like sending you on like all these little quests. And so it just, you never, you know, that there's that like that there's a little beat in Animal Crossing that happens basically every time you turn it on, where you're like, okay, now what? You know, I shook my fruit loose from the tree. I dug up the 3 fossils that are on the island today. I did this. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
And there is no now what in Pokopia.
There's always now this.
Now this.
How does that? I want to ask you a question. How? Let me say it how you would say it. Now let me ask you this. How does it sounds like to me that feels very good? Do you miss any of the pacing of an Animal Crossing? Because what I'll say is that for those games, I actually kind of enjoy how when I dip in, that they are basically, it's a 30-minute play session, give or take. Horizons was a little different. And so I like the excuse to hop in and be done for the day. And they're not the same style of game, but what do you think about that comparison?
They are similar though. And like they're also both based on a real clock. So like, you know, in Animal Crossing there are those things that you can do every day, but once you've done them for that day, they're done being done for that day. And like same sort of stuff in Pokopia, that like there you can start like a building project and it'll be ready tomorrow. So you literally have to wait until tomorrow. So like there are some ways that the game will put brakes on those like larger developments, but to like sort of directly answer your question about is it possible that like the pace of the game is too much or like too demanding? You can always ignore. And just like you get enough tools early on where you're like, oh, I can just sort of like start building out things that I want, or like clearing area. Or, you know, one of the big like things of the game is that the world that you're inhabiting is like a dried out, desiccated version of, you know, the world of Pokemon. And so basically every single square of earth and grass and pathway and whatever needs to be watered. So that you can then either like plant grass in it and, you know, build a Pokemon habitat, but like you can just spend hours watering stuff. And I know I just described something that should be tedious and boring and bad, but it's you're just returning like verdancy to the world. And it feels so good.
That's wonderful.
The game is also totally absent combat. You are meeting Pokemon. They are your friends. You don't put anyone in a Pokeball. You don't threaten violence against someone else's Pokemon at all. No one's getting knocked out. Which, you know, is obviously a departure for Pokemon, which, you know, always have like violence at the core of them, in sort of a weird way, because you're like, we love these guys. Let's make them fight. But also, that's the thing that makes it so different from Dragon Quest Builders. Dragon Quest Builders, you're doing all of this, all the same kind of stuff, building houses, doing favors for characters as you meet them. But then you're also like going out into the world and battling slimes and golems and all this stuff. And it's remarkable how much the game doesn't need that.
Fantastic.
You don't need to, give peace a chance.
Yes.
Of course.
I know you're out there listening.
Me.
You, whoever's out there who's saying, I won't give peace a chance. Well,
Right.
You should.
Yeah, so this one goes out to all the warriors out there. Give peace a chance this time.
Patrick didn't mispronounce Warriors. We're talking to the Warriors.
Right, but also Wario should hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's great. I'm having an absolute blast with it. It is just like with Animal Crossing. When I see what people have created on their own islands in their own Pokopia worlds, I'm like, oh geez, I need to up my game.
I felt that way with Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes,
with the building
for sure.
aspect. Yes.
What percentage of Tears of the Kingdom players do you think are really building those like elaborate machines?
Oh, 0.1.
Yeah,
very
right?
few people.
Very
Yes.
few people, but like we all want to share those, so
100%.
we do. So Pokopia rocks. I will be talking about it more in the weeks to come. Let's talk a little bit Fire Emblem Awakening.
Let's do it.
Even though we're doing this games club, so we are talking about it every week.
Yes.
And getting kind of in the nitty gritty of all of our various playthroughs. It's you, me, 4 other great funny people who are playing this game. Connor, we're nearing the end of Fire Emblem Awakening. Not your first Fire Emblem game, but the first time you were playing Awakening.
Correct.
How you feeling as we are heading into the home stretch here?
As we were saying earlier, I'm very ready to see this game through, to finish it.
Yeah.
Because, once you've been playing a game for 8 going on, well, now 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Not that it grows long in the tooth, but I have an appetite, kind of like me playing the Grace section of Requiem. I have an appetite for something else.
Right.
Whether that be the next game we're playing for the Games Club coming up or anything different. That being said, this is definitely my favorite Fire Emblem game that I've ever played. It's phenomenal. As I was telling you, it feels so good to hold a 3DS in my hands and play this game.
I know.
It's just I get happier just looking at a closed 3DS, let alone holding an open one and playing it. It's phenomenal. I of course recommend it to any tactics enjoyers out there. It's not a genre that I have a ton of experience with, but one that I really do enjoy, and this is the cream of the crop, I think.
It really is. And for me, one of the things that sets it apart is the relationship building, and that it is so much. It's not in the same way that like Three Houses is, right? Where you're like sort of babysitting these kids in like a school environment. You're running around a school. It's a lot more just kind of like menu based.
Yeah.
But like beyond that, you're building the relationships on the battlefield. And then when you like trigger the conversations in the menus, that really serves to improve their relationship on the battlefield.
Yes.
Like it always goes back to making your units stronger and more effective together, which is just an unbelievably good feeling.
I do love, just to echo your point, how it all feeds into itself. Like the relationships build, you either have a heartfelt or funny or just endearing cutscenes between the characters or just dialogue moments that, again, in turn makes them more helpful to each other and on the battlefield. And I think Metal Gear Solid, was it Sniper Wolf who says love blooms on the battlefield?
That's right. Yes.
How have we not said that once on the Games Club?
I think because we're worried. We're like, is doing that accent racist?
Oh, does she have a Russian one?
She's got a thick Russian accent.
Okay, I think
we could do it. I think we could do it.
Still safe.
Russian's still safe.
Yes, but I've loved playing that game, and I've loved talking about it with you. I've been we've all kind of been like cheering for you big time as you were playing on a hard mode with permadeath.
Yes.
And for the listener here, I tried that for 5 chapters, had to start the game over on normal with permadeath, but
right.
We're the permadeath bros, actually.
Yeah, well, and Jeremy,
and Jeremy
too.
Yes. I got to give him credit.
He also started on hard mode and was like, nope. But yes, thank you. I don't think I would be able to. I don't think I would have persisted.
Yes.
If there weren't an assignment for me to be doing it, and now I'm way too deep into the game on hard mode to start over. So, yeah, it's Connor, both you and I in the last couple weeks have had like character deaths.
Yes.
That are permanent for us, and that were characters that we were using, right? And we both did little tributes to our characters that passed. And that's a fun thing to do for like performance reasons and whatever. And it's always fun to make the podcast be a little bit more of like an elevated performance thing. Not that I don't love just casually, talking about games. But it's truly like a reflection of how you feel in the moment when the character dies. And it's almost embarrassing to be like, oh no, I did need to mourn Gregor when he died. I needed it. You needed to mourn Frederick when he died. It's such a strange thing to be playing this game with your little, pixely guys running around and you're like, oh no, sorry, I need to take a break to feel something.
100%.
Fantastic stuff. Connor, you've also been playing some Game Boy games on NSO?
Yes, I'll keep this part brief.
Sure.
Because this has been more of my dabbling time, as I like to call, where sometimes I'll just goof off on. This is something I imagine people do with their Steam libraries that are too big.
Totally.
But with having access to all of the content that's on NSO, I like to dive in occasionally. With the release of Mario Tennis Fever, I believe was the title for the new Mario Tennis game. I didn't pick that up, but it made me want to go back and play my favorite Mario Tennis game, which is Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color, which was made by Camelot,
That's
I
correct.
believe. I played this cartridge into the ground as a kid. I'm playing the single player RPG mode where you create a tennis player and you can like put your skill points into your attributes and get better. It's phenomenal.
A fun mode that I started after you and I had a little conversation about Mario Tennis 64 and the Game Boy Color one. Really chatty up front.
It is too chatty. It's too, and honestly,
there's like a character that walks you around to literally every building in the world and tells you what it's there for.
That part overstays its welcome, big time. But I do really enjoy it. I enjoyed it back in the day. And then another game I threw on, one I've never played, which is rare because it's a Zelda title. I turned on The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons.
Oh.
You and I, 5 years ago, had a discussion about Oracle of Ages, which we played through.
You, me, Mark, and Vic McKellis.
Yes. Yeah. Great time for the old Zelda Games Club. I never played this one. So I played through the first dungeon one night in like 30 minutes. The first boss is like a Gleeok from straight out of Zelda 1.
Cool.
It made me want to play more. I haven't done it, but I love the Game Boy Color. I don't talk about that much because it was such a transitionary period for me between obviously Game Boy to Game Boy Advance. The window for GBC was short for me.
It is for everyone.
Yes.
And the GBA window is also very short, right?
Yes.
Because it's only out there for like 3.5, 4 years before the DS comes out.
Yeah.
And that like clearly changes everything. But yeah, there is something about like the aesthetic of the Game Boy Color that is just so, I don't know, it's like so sticky and so like, the Game Boy architecture at that point had been around for a decade solid. And so like people just knew how to develop for it and how to like draw for that screen real estate, and the addition of like real color just kind of blows the doors off it. A lot of those Game Boy Color games are gorgeous.
They really are. So I just, that's what I was feeling when I was playing those two games,
Cool.
And I want to give it more time in the future.
So Connor, as of the day this episode releases, if you are subscribing to Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack, there are 332 games that you could be playing right now. Discrete, different games. I'm not counting SP versions.
Wow.
And yeah, some of those are, 4 different ways to play Super Mario Brothers 3. But those are different ways to play Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yes, they are.
So just something to keep in mind. The spreadsheet, paying off here.
I love
Giving
it.
me that
I
information.
was wondering if that's what you were looking at.
All right, Connor, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week. Connor, it is, of course, Mario Day today.
Happy Mario Day, Patrick.
March 10th. We've done it. MAR10.
We are there.
We are there. So fittingly, the Nintendo Music update this week was Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. A great score. I was playing the end credits theme when you arrived here today, Connor. Mostly because I knew that if I turned it on, Sarah from the other room would start singing along, and she did. So a great little piece of music. Also coming out today, March 10th, on NSO are 3 different Mario games. Coming to the Virtual Boy are Mario's Tennis and Mario Clash. Both really good Virtual Boy games, and the only Mario games that are on the system. So, okay, I guess they held those for like a month so they could be Mario Day games. And of course, the GBA version of Mario versus Donkey Kong. Sort of interesting because they put out the like remake of this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I sort of thought that took this off the table for NSO.
It just another example of me never knowing what Nintendo's up to and their reasoning behind decisions like this.
There's really none. Here is something though, a pattern that we can divine. This is the 3rd year ever and 3rd year in a row that they have added Mario games to NSO on Mario Day.
Okay.
So previously they had not. Before 2023, they did not use NSO this way. It does. I'm like they might probably be running out of Mario games at this point, but I hope we don't have to wait a year for Mario Sunshine to come to GameCube. But who knows at this point?
They've already previewed that, I believe, for the GameCube library.
Yes, it's on the list of games that will be coming someday.
Make it June or May, Nintendo, or July or August, but make it a summer release. Line that up.
Yeah, totally. Well, what a good point. Not even something I was thinking about, but yes, Sunshine needs to be a summer release. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. March 12th, which is Thursday, Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly remake is coming out, as is the talking flower toy from Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Connor, I have not pre-ordered this thing.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm happy to hear that we can draw the line somewhere on our Nintendo gadgets that we get, and I'm really glad it's at the Talking Flower.
Yeah,
mostly because I don't know what the heck anyone would use this for.
It seems as though it can't be used.
If anything,
it can only exist in your space.
Yes, buying it would be for bit purposes in my brain.
Yeah,
but I wonder how long it's going to take me to see one in a friend's house.
Man, do we know anyone like in our world in real life? We know some people on the Discord who've ordered them.
Incredible.
But, yeah, this particular gadget, I don't know anyone.
Do you think you'll see it at a friend's house first or being resold at a retro store first?
Will a retro store even take it?
That's a great question.
Right?
No idea. Ugh.
I don't know. I think I'll never see one of these in real life. Then coming out on Friday, March 13th, Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflections, the new Monster Hunter Stories game, as well as the amiibo that are associated with Monster Hunter Stories 3, Ratha V, and Rudy. Because I can put up a nice set of blinders around Monster Hunter Stories, I'm able to do that around those amiibo as well.
Great.
So I'm just like, those aren't on my... They don't feed my appetite for amiibo. I don't
have to buy those.
That's right.
Great. I mean, this game, that's a huge release coming out.
It is. It's true.
I believe it's a JRPG, right?
Yeah. So the way the Monster Hunter Stories games work is that they are a lot more like a standard JRPG.
Okay.
But also you are like collecting monsters and using them a little bit like Pokemon, but not quite. But yeah, getting rid of the sort of like action-based Monster Hunter style gameplay. Okay. And this one is, the characters are the most grown up they've been, so that they are like young adults instead of children. And the sort of like tone of the game reflects that. I checked out this demo a couple weeks ago, and it kind of revealed that this series in general isn't for me. Like I said, I can put those blinders up. But cool that it is coming out. So, and then just wanted to shout out that there are Mario Day deals right now, both physical and digital. The games we're talking about here, Mario and Luigi Brothership is $30, as is that Mario versus Donkey Kong remake and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So $30, it's half price. If you want to spend $40 on some Switch first-party games, Luigi's Mansion 3, Super Mario 3D World, plus Bowser's Fury, Super Mario Odyssey, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. Good prices for all those games. That's all physical, digital, a lot of the same game. Super Mario Maker 2 is also available digital for $40. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is marked down to $42.
Oh.
Which I feel like I want to get this game so I can play as Dixie Kong.
Yes.
But also, I don't know. I've held out this long. I've bought this game twice.
Yes. Is that how we know the value of Dixie Kong is $2?
Boy, yeah, maybe.
Dang. It's tough. That is the closest reason I've ever had to rebuying a game, a Nintendo title that they've ported to a console when I already own it. Because I have the Wii version, love it, played through it, we've talked about it.
Yes.
But I don't know if I would just buy it for Dixie, but that's a nice discount, as are all of these.
Yeah, some pretty good discounts.
Is there anything
I bought that game twice.
Wow.
Because I have it on 3DS as well.
Incredible.
I don't know if there's anything on here that I'm going to go after. Is there anything that you see, Collins?
I don't think I'm going to go after anything, but if I were to, it would probably be Mario and Luigi Brothership or the Thousand Year Door remake that they did.
Both games that I bought for full price when they came out.
$30,
but yeah, half price.
Wow.
Nintendo first party games don't go half price. Although I feel like these games, those that are clearly in the did not sell that well, should just be permanently dropped to $30.
Yes, that'd be nice if that's what this was, but
it's not.
Yes.
Nintendo Selects, where are you?
Gone.
But not forgotten. All right, Connor. That's the new releases. Let's close this segment out. Which brings us to a regular segment on our show. It's time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, wherein a performer or a group of performers didn't play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of this show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo. So, for the duration of one performance of 433, Connor and I will talk about something not at all Nintendo related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. Stumbling over my words here because I was already anticipating saying Connor instead of Mark. But Connor, today we are talking about movie theaters from our past and present.
Yes.
That we have emotional attachments to.
Yes.
Do you have one from your childhood that is your quintessential movie theater that you used to go to?
Definitely. There were at least 4 that I would go to growing up in my hometown, and a few others and places we would visit often that I still remember.
Yes.
But the one I always think of still exists out in Modesto, California, called Brendan Theaters. Have you heard of the Brendan Theaters Group? It's a much smaller chain made by a man named Johnny Brendan, who I remember they would occasionally show an ad of him.
He sounds cool. Is he cool?
I don't believe so.
Oh.
I believe he's kind of a scary mogul type.
Oh,
but just from the images, it's like a buff Lex Luthor is what I remember. But I loved this was
Which
a movie.
does happen in the comics.
Yes.
So that's canon.
So you can see what that's like. I loved going here growing up. The movie Eddie and I were just talking about this, but I believe the first movie I ever saw at Brendan Theaters, because it opened in 1999, was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Very good.
It's a place that I'll usually go back to almost every time that I'm home for a holiday.
What's the vibe? Is it sort of your standard multiplex kind of experience, or stadium seating, that kind of thing, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the above. It might have maybe 12 screens at Brendan total. They have a tiny little arcade in there. And
yeah.
This is the same place that I started going to midnight premieres in high school.
Yeah.
We're talking.
That's an important theater to lock down when you're in high school.
Yes. So, I mean, I could talk about that forever. We have limited time here. What comes to mind for you for nostalgic theaters?
Yeah, for nostalgic theaters, the Market Square Cinemas in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where I grew up, they do not exist anymore. But there was an Aladdin's Castle arcade right next to it, within the same building that was Market Square was like sort of a mall,
Okay.
but it felt like a kind of a dead mall to begin with. There was the movie theater, there was Aladdin's Castle, there was a restaurant that had like a courtyard that was like outside, but it wasn't really outside because we lived in Wisconsin. And then like the unemployment office was also there.
Okay.
And maybe there was something else like in the back, but like there were maybe like 8 screens at Market Square, and they were all like pretty small and like kind of crappy, but like that's a movie theater where I saw Hook as a child. That's a movie theater where I saw Godzilla when
The Matthew
Broderick one. That's the movie theater where I saw the special edition Star Wars when it came back to theaters in 1997. But that's the movie theater where I saw The Sixth Sense. Yeah, that place, a lot of memories. So Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I very clearly remember seeing there. But then in high school, my like midnight movie theater was a Cinemark theater called Tinseltown. And I had a buddy, Brandon, who worked there. So like we got to go to when they would like, do the like test run of the movies, would go and see a lot of those.
Oh, really? Like market research?
No, not market research. Just that they like it was their first time actually running the print of
making sure
a new release, to make sure that it functioned.
Oh, that's a great hookup.
Yeah.
Do you have others like since then, whether it be in college or out here, that really stick out?
Ooh, so I'm gonna choose one that's neither college nor out here, but in when I lived in Chicago, in the Music Box Theater, which is this great old movie theater that does just like cool stuff all the time. Saw a lot of midnight movies there. Would see like Blade or Starship Troopers or Blade Runner. Was just a great time. That's where I saw, they have a little theater off to the side. Like there's a main one, then a little room. And that's where I saw the Gaspar Noé film Enter the Void, which is a trippy first person perspective movie about a character who dies and then like, kind of his consciousness floats throughout the world until it like winds up back inside the guy who's trying to have sex with his sister.
Okay.
It's
not ideal.
Not ideal. And also not a great movie.
Oh my goodness.
But a total trip. Do you have one?
There's so many that I think of. I think of like as a child going to this like $2 theater in my grandparents' hometown of Alton, Illinois. I think of like the theaters I went to in college, a few of them. None of them that really stuck as important. And then out here in Los Angeles, I have, of course, R.I.P. miss the ArcLight.
We always miss the ArcLight, yes.
The Los Feliz 3 theater,
Great
small
theater.
little place. I used to live around the corner, so it was perfect to walk to like and see a small screening of anything from. There, of course, is the Vista, which is close. I've only been to once since Tarantino bought and owned it.
Oh, I like it a lot now.
Yes. Okay, great.
We are out of time. There was no applause at the end of this
that's
recording.
okay.
But I mean, I saw Sinners twice at that theater. It was
Wow.
great both times. It's the awesome thing about the Vista, like the screen is great and the seats are wonderful and all that kind of stuff. But it's just that you're opting into a super engaged audience.
Yes.
Every time. Rocks. We were accompanied today by Tapiola Sinfonietta. All right, Connor, let's get into the news. Okay, on Monday, Nintendo held what can assume to be the final The Super Mario Galaxy Movie Nintendo Direct, and they started off with a trailer and then said, oh, you may have noticed that Wart is in this and that he's got a line in this trailer. So we got some new cast members, Connor.
Yeah, we did.
So before we jump into the new cast members, did you watch this trailer?
I did.
What'd you think?
I think it looks very fun. I'm loving everything I'm seeing from the trailer. I assume that I will also really dislike the movie when I actually see it, but sure. I will just be honest and say the trailer's exciting.
Trailer's kind of exciting. I did feel a little like I was already like internally groaning at a couple jokes.
Yes. That's a guarantee.
But that's a guarantee it's going to happen and it's fine. But where I really, Connor, where I started chuckling to straight up laughing out loud was at the cast reveal here.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Luis Guzman is wart, which is a sentence no human being should have to say.
Greendale Community College alumni.
Yes, that's
Luis
right.
Guzman, canonically.
Early PTA collaborator Luis
Yeah.
Guzman. And then Issa Rae is the honey queen, so she's voicing a giant honeybee that Mario climbs around on.
I can't believe that character is getting a moment in this.
She's a voiced character,
Yes.
well, voiced by Issa Rae of all people. And then, of course, and this is where I let out like a genuine belly laugh by myself. Donald Glover is Yoshi.
I don't understand.
I don't
I
either.
love that man. I think he's a creative genius.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he the choice to voice Yoshi?
You know, it's never a wrong choice
Yeah.
for him, right? Like he's always right in basically everything he does.
Yeah.
And like frequently elevates stuff that like
That's true.
is either like bad on the page otherwise
Mm-hmm.
or like conceptually sort that I'm dubious of. I'm thinking of him being Lando in the
Yeah.
Solo movie and Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
which was awesome.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't know. Is he about to elevate this movie up to like
I'm here
good?
for it. And did we get kind of a taste of a Yoshi line in the trailer really quick?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like there was like a word that we heard or like a noise, and because I already knew
Right.
that he was voicing it when I watched the trailer, it made me wonder how are they going to do some voice pitching with this? Is it just going to be his
Yeah,
voice?
it's not clear.
I imagine some pitching, kind of like what seems to be happening with Bowser Jr., but I can't say for sure.
Yeah, Bowser Jr.'s voice does sound like it's a little mechanically manipulated, doesn't it?
It is, yeah.
And it's not clear to me if that's because it's part of like because we see him like transform, like do his Wonder Flower transformation from Super Mario Brothers Wonder, in every trailer that we've seen of him. So I wonder if that's just like an affectation that they're putting on for that.
Huh. It could be.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much about
Yes.
the movie because like it almost certainly is not going to matter, and I'm not going to care that much when we finally see it. Just want to point out they announced 3 actors of color and said that they're all voicing monsters.
Yeah.
Great.
Great Nintendo.
Great Nintendo.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Also, if you check on the Nintendo Today app between now and the release of the movie, there are little digital cards that you can collect. In Japan, they are releasing like physical cards for these characters.
Yeah.
Which is just Nintendo gets more cool stuff, or Japan gets more cool stuff than we do. And then it's unclear to me exactly how you do this, but you check in on Nintendo Today while you are at the movie itself, and you get like a background or a phone wallpaper or something. I don't know. Movie's coming out April 1st. Connor, I bought tickets for it so that we will be ready to see it and then talk about it on this show.
Can't wait to hear that.
I'm very excited to talk about it. And, you know, whatever. There'll be a new Mario movie in the universe.
Yes.
Okay, we've got another Nintendo Direct to talk about. Last week, Nintendo had an Indie World showcase. We're not going to go through it beat by beat like we do with Nintendo Directs sometime, but just wanted to kind of buzz through it a little bit and see if there's anything that we wanted to dig into. Some games that I thought looked kind of interesting. This Den Shadik. It's like a train doing skateboard tricks.
You know how I think it might be pronounced, or I've been doing it in my head? Denshatak.
Denshatak. That's much better.
It just seemed right.
Denshatak.
But this is also maybe the one that caught my eye the most.
Den Shadik makes it sound European, but it is Japanese.
Den
clearly.
Shadik. What movie was he in?
Oh, Den Shadik, isn't it? Yeah, it looks. It's got a really like bright, colorful, almost like Jet Set Radio kind of aesthetic to it. And which I thought looked cool. Of course, just want to shout out My Little Puppy, a game which forces you to reckon with the thought of a dog dying and going to heaven.
Brutal.
And I know that I mentioned a dead dog earlier in this episode, so you know who among us is without sin.
Don't make it 3.
Yeah, don't do it a third time. Skipping ahead to other stuff here. They showed off a little bit of Blighted, which is the next game from Drinkbox Studios. That's the Nobody Saves the World and Guacamelee.
Yeah.
And Severed, a game that they don't shout out anymore, but that I really loved. It looks like a sort of like action-y, isometric exploration game. Looks rad. I trust these developers. It has 2-player co-op, so I'm very interested in that whenever it comes out. From the sizzle reel, that's where I learned the existence of Toem 2.
Yeah.
Did you play the first Toem?
I actually own it on a physical cartridge.
Oh!
I won it in a contest, but I have not played it.
It rocks, Connor.
Okay.
It's very like cozy game with like fun, intuitive environmental puzzles.
Yes.
And is all and it pulls off a end game magic trick that like genuinely surprised me and was very fun. So
I should play this game.
just a game about existing in a world and taking pictures of it.
It's beautiful.
It is very fun and good. And then also Blueprints, the indie darling from last year, has made its way over to Switch 2. It's out now, and there's a physical edition of it coming from I Am 8-Bit later this year. Later, I guess, just later. And that'll be the whole game is on the cartridge, not a key card kind of situation. Connor, did you play Blueprints?
I did. Amanda and I played.
That's right.
Maybe 20 hours of Blueprints last year, and I will be honest in saying I am someone who really soured on it by the end.
Yeah.
It has its champions. I know a lot of people who were like, this is the best game I played all year. If you just dig a little farther, it's great. I have some serious...
At 20 hours, I feel like you dug into it.
We did. I have some serious issues with the pacing of the game, where I don't mind that it starts out slow and that like you're sort of chipping away at finding little clues or mysteries or not even getting answers on stuff. That's fine. I just had issues with the pacing, that it didn't ever seem to speed up, that I would have ideas for things to do and to chip away at, and you could just have several runs where it feels like none of that happens.
Right, because it's all like sort of based on like a random generation of the next room, right?
Yes.
And there will be times when you're just dealt out of the things that you want to try or explore.
There are also, to its credit, there are also ways that you can manipulate the game if you see patterns happen enough to where you can get certain rooms or types of rooms to generate based on actions you take. Some of those we had picked up on and some we didn't. So, and there's plenty of stuff like that in the title.
Yeah,
I think
gotcha.
if you're interested in a game like this, I think it's definitely worth trying out. Especially, I'm not sure what the price point is.
It's a good question.
Maybe
I didn't look it up.
$20.
Let's keep going.
I think if it's around that price point, it's absolutely worth it, especially if you're someone who's interested. If you know that you might not be interested, I wouldn't take a dip, but it's interesting at the very least. I just grew a little tired of it.
No, I did a bad job of.
That's okay.
I did a bad job of.
No, I sprung a question on you.
No, but I should. Here we go. Blueprints, Nintendo Switch.
Come on, Nintendo, tell us.
No, it's just not kicking back the way I want it.
It says here Patrick is not allowed to know. Weird.
Yeah, which is rude.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll continue looking for it as we talk. Was there anything else in the direct here that?
Not really, and this actually made me. It jogged an idea for me today while I was watching. I watched it today. I didn't watch it last week, but it made me realize that I don't know what this says about me personally. But even if I am entertained by a direct or think that many games look cool or interesting, or sometimes can be for me possibly. It takes some real convincing for me to have legitimate interest in a title,
right?
To want to play it. It usually has to be, and I don't think I'm unique in this, but it has to be something in a series that I know I already enjoy, or word of mouth does so much more for me than even a presentation.
Yeah, truly.
But I'll still watch all of these things. I watched the partner showcases, the indie worlds, I woke up for the Pokemon one, which was really not for me, but I love watching them. I love seeing what's out there. It takes a lot for me to get interested.
But you got to be among the first people to see that Pombon.
And I do count myself as lucky.
So Blueprints is $30 normally. It is currently on sale for $19.79. So 34% off.
I think it's worth investigating if you are someone who's interested. That's what I'll say.
That sale ends on the 11th, so not a lot of time to act on that. If
Mario Day sale for Blueprints.
It does sort of seem that way. Yeah, I don't know. That does feel like a game that I would like. I feel like I'm elbow deep in a bunch of games right now.
It definitely feels like not the time for you.
But now's the time when it's cheap, Connor.
Ah,
All right, moving on from the Indie World Showcase, which I will just echo your sentiment that I am always game to watch a Nintendo Direct, and I'm always game to like watch them live. This is one where I definitely felt like, okay, it feels a little wheel spinny. There was nothing in here that really like blew me away. It's cool that Blueprints is now coming over to Switch, or Switch 2. But I'm also just kind of like, well, okay, that's a high profile indie port.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Somehow not part of the Indie World Showcase, Kenna Bridge of Spirits was announced for Switch 2, arriving sometime this spring. It includes all of the updates that have come previously to PlayStation, the Anniversary DLC, and New Game Plus mode. The developer Ember Labs has partnered with Sony for the recently announced sequel, Kenna Scars of Cosmora, coming to PC and PS5 later this year. So like that's, and I think with the PlayStation Studios branding on it, so like being published and like probably funded in part by PlayStation. So just sort of interesting that we're getting the sort of precursor to that on Switch this year.
Yeah, very cool.
And also looks like a really cool game. It's the developers had previously done that like animation of Skull Kid. There's like a Majora's Mask thing. Do you remember this from a couple
Yes,
years
I
ago?
do.
It's really like creepy and moody and cool, and people
Mhm.
were like, Zelda should look like this. And then they made a game that played like Zelda and looked like that.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be on Nintendo. So.
I've always been interested in
Me too.
Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Just never dipped in, and this might be the time.
It might be the time. We don't have a release date for it yet, but this spring implies soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because Connor, I don't know about you, but I think it's spring right
I
now.
think spring is about to spring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I will have said,
Spring
never
has
mind.
sprung.
Yeah, bad joke.
Okay, because I'm me and this show is what it is, we got to talk about Kirby Air Riders amiibo.
Wow.
Because we got a release date for the Meta Knight and Wingstar amiibo, and we got some updates on the no. On the release date of Meta Knight and Wingstar amiibo, we got some updates on other upcoming Kirby Air Riders amiibo. So first of all, I did pick up my my Meta Knight and Wingstar amiibo. He's in the house. I'm very happy to. I was gesturing over to where he is. Connor looked, but you can't see him because he's on the other side of a wall. But so first off, the King DDD and Tankstar got a release date of July 2nd. It also got a price. The price is $55. 55.
Oh, that's a new game.
Yeah, basically.
Almost.
Yeah. So, when the Meta Knight one was revealed, he was revealed at the same price as the two previous ones, at $50.
Mhm.
And through the course of amiibo not selling super well over the holidays, or who really knows what, they knocked that price down to $45. So I paid $45 for my
Nice.
for my amiibo here. This is that, and that was the right direction to be like, just give a little, Nintendo. Knock it down from 50 to 45. Then I'm like, okay, I'm getting a deal here. Now $55 for an amiibo.
I am so surprised at this.
There's still no release date for the previously announced Chef Kawasaki and Hopstar, and also no price associated with that one. So Connor, I'm not too proud to admit that I pre-ordered the
Of course.
King DDD amiibo. At this point, I'm just sort of like, well, I don't know, because there's another part of this. When it was just these five amiibo, I was sort of the opinion, like, whatever. If one of them is more expensive, then I'll have this nice little collection of 5 different Kirby characters, and that's all cool. 2 new amiibo were revealed: Sword Kirby and Dragoon. Dragoon is the machine that he rides, and Noir DDD and Hydra. Now, this means that as we are releasing the 6th and 7th Kirby Air Riders amiibo, which is already a sentence that shouldn't exist. We're already doing variants.
Yeah.
We're doing a Kirby variant and a King DDD variant.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen Marks, we haven't seen Ricky, we haven't seen Magalore, we haven't seen Lololo and La La La. There are Kirby characters that are not being represented in amiibo form, so we can get like evil King DDD.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Will they come? Will they not?
How many?
Could there be 12 Kirby amiibo?
What is the upper
Air
limit on the number of Kirby
Yes.
Air Riders amiibo that they'll let Masahiro Sakurai put out?
Yes. That's a great question.
And I do feel a little bit betrayed by this,
Yes.
like the variants. Like, I think maybe the Sword Kirby does look better than a regular
Mhm.
Kirby, but like, how many Kirbys do I
Yes.
need?
You had a handshake deal under the table with Nintendo.
Yes.
I'm committing to these.
Yes.
We're drawing the line, aren't we? And then here they go.
Here they go.
Goodness.
Getting wild here. No release date. Also, not really clear on what the prices for these new ones are going to be. If we are going by the, so there are Japanese prices for these, but not American pricing. And the King DDD is more expensive than the regular DDD is more expensive than the ones that have previously been released, which is consistent with the US pricing.
Mhm.
But then the Sword Kirby and Noir DDD are even more expensive than that,
Whew.
which leads me to believe that those amiibo are going to be $60 or $65.
They're just gonna keep pushing the limits.
They're just going to keep pushing the limit, Connor.
Nintendo. They're like, well, if we're gonna make these, we got to get as much money as we can out of the 11 people buying all of the Kirby Air Riders amiibo.
Right. So I just want to know where are the 10 other people doing
Yes.
this? If you're out there, let me know.
You all should be on a group chat
We should be on a group chat. We
Yes.
should be in a support group is what I think is.
and hold out together until they drop the prices for you.
Here's the thing, though, with something that is like that. Obviously, now this is a niche product, right? And so, like, how many of them are they actually making? You know, I don't think they're treating them the same way that they were treating like the sages from Tears of the Kingdom, or the other early Switch 2 amiibo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm feeling all kinds of ways about this, Connor.
Yes. I'm sorry that you're in this predicament.
Hey, at least I didn't buy the talking flower.
That's true.
Moving on to lawsuits, Nintendo is suing the United States government over Trump's unlawful tariffs on imported goods from Japan and other countries. The suit is seeking refunds with interest for tariffs paid back to February 1st, 2025. I also just have little notes here about the Supreme Court recently found that Trump's tariffs were illegal as justified the way they were by the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, but it seems like Trump can just reassert these tariffs through other justifications.
I guess so.
That aren't this. And it's also still unclear what like ameliorative action can take place with refunding people who have paid tariffs.
Yeah.
Especially because tariffs, as they are definitionally, are paid by the importer. So the a lot of that has been covered by price increases down the supply stream. So, refunding whoever is importing a good for tariffs they paid when the consumer has already made up that difference
price,
is not actually a make good for the people who are hurt by it the most.
If any, it's just like a little sorry about that to the companies, the stores that have imported, is what you're saying.
Yes, and it's not as though prices are going to come back down because they have discovered that people will pay those prices. So,
yes.
Anyway, all of that is just sort of like background to Nintendo taking things into their own hand and being like, it's interesting that like they're just looking for a refund for the tariffs that they paid for importing stuff around obviously the launch of the Switch 2, right?
Yes.
When I don't, the real damage for Nintendo is probably not in the tariffs they paid, but in just sort of like the opportunity cost, the lost sales of goods, and like everything that they had to raise prices on, and that like slowed consumer buying of their higher priced goods.
And the console wasn't the console delayed? Was it delayed because of
No,
this, or
it was revealed on the same day that the tariffs were announced. That was Liberation
they were
Day.
enacted?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
For who, I ask?
For none of us.
Yes.
And Nintendo held firm on the price of the Switch 2.
That's right.
But everything else went up in price. Controllers, Joy-Con, Switch
Accessories,
1,
yeah.
and and this is also like we don't know for sure that the price of Amiibo went up, but like they must have.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I'm glad to see a company trying to hold this administration to account and not just like bowing down to them and giving them whatever they want. I don't really know how effective
Yes.
a suit like this can be. But hey, if every company were to do this,
could it make a difference? Yeah.
Could.
Yeah.
There's a real collective action problem.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's usually from companies, because companies don't want to run afoul of the Trump administration.
Yes.
Because the Trump administration are,
Vindictive.
mafioso. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They're vindictive, and they will. And we've seen just in the last like week or so, the administration has been using a lot of like video game speak to try and
Yes.
satiate the incels that are part of their fan base. But they used the Pokopia graphic with a "Make America Great Again" thing. I saw RFK on the Health and Human Services Twitter account had tweeted a thing that's like a Smash Brothers character select screen, and like he's fighting a donut, and he's like fighting fake food, and all this kind of like crap, where it's just like,
Sure.
they have and have never had respect for anyone's like intellectual property.
Yes.
And are just going to steal and use AI to steal stuff to try and get their message across to what they think will be a receptive audience. But Connor, it all just seems so lame.
Yes.
And I just like, who's the audience that like eats that up and is like, this is cool, this is not cringe, this is what I voted for, and I like that they're doing this like this.
Yeah, what's the Venn diagram of people who are Pokopia players who are thrilled about any of this? Who are like, oh, I'm glad they used that font generator thing to make a statement. So funny that when that happened too last week, a lot of people were speculating like, oh, well, will Nintendo or the Pokemon Company stand up to the United States government and sue them for using this? Because I think they maybe even sent out a message like, we're not affiliated with this,
right?
Something along those lines.
We're aware of it, but
yes,
that's not something that we associate with. Yeah.
So to have that happen, but then a lawsuit unrelated to the Pokopia generated text thing pop up was not confusing for people, but when we saw lawsuit, I was like, oh, is that immediately about this issue? And it was not at all.
That would be a really tough case to try.
Yeah,
I think.
what do you do?
But, it is interesting just because like I think people have an image, and I don't actually know how much this is really a belief held by people, or if it's just like online posture / every now and then you see the internet presence of a 13-year-old. But that like Nintendo's ninjas, are this some sort of like legal powerhouse that is stronger or more effective or eviler than it really is. So like, yeah, Nintendo filing a lawsuit against the U.S. government's probably not going to do anything.
Yes.
And if it does anything, it'll just be Nintendo will get some taxpayer money.
Yeah.
Which is, the ultimate injustice of all of this.
Yes.
Is
all
of the evils that are being perpetrated in our names, Connor.
Yes.
Is costing us money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Connor. The final note I have on this is, man, what a mess.
What a mess.
What a
no thank
mess. You. No thank you. Geez, we got more presentations to talk about.
That?
Capcom had a little presentation last week. Here's some news. Pragmata game coming to Switch 2 and a bunch of other platforms, just had its release date moved forward a week.
Whoa.
It was coming out April 24th. Now it's coming out April 17th. No real explanation for why that is, but it's ready to go and they want to put it out.
Okay.
Seemingly not concerned with whether they're cannibalizing Resident Evil Requiem.
I guess not.
Like their own third person.
It's like there's enough time between.
Must be. Also, a little update on Mega Man Overdrive. There was a boss design contest, and the finalists were revealed. Only one of them will be selected to be in the final game. But just like back in the old days, when they took like player suggestions and drawings for Robot Masters, they have done that here.
Cool.
There's a handful of finalists: Cleanser Man, Sweeper Woman, Recycle Man, Cactus Man, Juggle Man, and Valve Man. I recommend everyone go look those up because they're fun drawings of all these characters.
Gabe Newell is Valve Man.
That's right. It's actually Gordon Freeman.
Has been made. Yeah.
It's holding the crowbar. And then the rest of the Robot Masters were all teased in a group silhouette. So I'm excited about this game. It's I think it's unclear when exactly this is coming out, but I think the implication from like around the presentation was next year sometime. Okay. So, and then Street Fighter 6 gets some more outfits, Monster Hunter Stories updates. We don't really care about this. All right, moving on. A leaked Mario Day versus race event for Mario Kart World may have teased a new mode coming to battle mode. So there's a screenshot that like shows the conditions for the versus event for Mario Day, and it was posted by Nintendo and then removed. And there on the screenshot it shows the like the sort of selection of the modes, including battle mode, and there's a little icon next to battle mode, which normally in the game, Connor, that you have, in the game that I have, shows a balloon and a coin for like coin attack or balloon battle. But this one also had a little Bob-omb, as if to represent the Bob-omb Blast battle mode that was in 8 Deluxe, but is missing from World. So, Connor, are we getting a new battle mode coming to Mario Kart World?
I bet we do.
I bet we do, too.
I bet where there's smoke, there's fire from a Bob-omb.
From a Bob-omb, yeah.
Yes.
I live in constant hope that they will be updating this thing a little bit more aggressively than they like. I feel like they've been fine tuning the experience that's already there, and in some ways that are bigger and more obvious than others. But they've yet to do like, here's a new mode, or here's a new like character or track or anything like that. And I wonder if this is sort of opening the door to that. Is all. I
wonder the same thing because I have an appetite for it.
Right.
So I'm continue to play this game on occasion, but any updates that they make to this or that they previously made to 8 Deluxe always got me back for a good amount of time.
Totally.
By myself and with friends. So I'm here for it.
Speaking of with friends, we got to hop in on World again and do some online, what's the elimination?
There's Grand Prix, and it's of course the big cool mode
that everyone likes.
Gosh, it's the
knockout tour. Knockout tour, yes.
Gosh, what happened to me just now?
It happened to me too, Connor.
Yeah, it's Monday.
Oh my gosh.
It's Tuesday.
It's Mario Day. And then finally, as announced on his personal Twitter account, Goro Abe has retired from Nintendo effective the end of February. Abe had been with Nintendo since 1999 with director and game designer credits on basically every WarioWare game. Started off as a programmer on Wario Land 4, a great game for the GBA that Mark and I talked about on NCS Arcade last year. He's been with the company since he was 24. So I started off as a young man. He is moving on to be a professor at Osaka Electrocommunication University, launching the new gaming and design discipline there. So Abe, not a Nintendo like creator or personality that we talk about all that much. But like truly every single WarioWare game bears this guy's creative footprints. So it'll be sad to see him go.
Job well done. It's kind of like the WarioWare company is closing.
Wow.
Because he has his own company in those games?
Yeah. WarioWare Inc.
There we go.
We'll see another WarioWare game, right?
Gotta.
Can't be the
It's
end.
gotta
of
be
the
one on the
series.
Switch too at some point.
There does have to be one on the Switch.
We got 2 on the Switch 1.
We sure did. But really, all we want is gold again. Please,
I would love that.
just we want it.
Mm.
It's so good. All right, Connor, let's get out of the news. That is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Join the Discord. Email us if you'd like an invitation. Connor, thank you so much for joining me on this kind of long episode with a lot of news going on.
Wow, we did have a lot going on. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to be back here. Love the pod, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I know we already shouted out Call Me By Your Game, and we've talked about the Games Club a couple
Yes.
times. Anything else you want to shout out on your way out here?
No, just that. Say hi to me in the Discord if you want.
Say
My
hi to
username
Connor.
there is Cons, C-O-N-Z. But yeah, check out my podcast. If you're listening to this, I think you're going to like it.
Thanks again, Connor. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Conner McCabe, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening. Okay, Connor, I need you to know that I did text Mark to say, hey, any thoughts on the casting news for the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
Did he text back?